All right, hello, Divine Feminine. I asked Spirit what to do today, and the answer I got was to do 2024 Divine Feminine future predictions. Try not to read the past. And that is seeming to be the message that is coming through, is to let go of the past. So we have 4 decks here. I may get more cards. I obviously can see one of the cards, but the bottoms of the deck are Daughter of Wands. This is the Skull, Empress, Green Opal, Ace of Wands, Labradorite, Devil Reversed, and Star. And definitely they're each giving me their own energies. So we shall see. I'm going to do my best. I think I'm going to add some cards, but we'll see what comes out here. I was planning just to do another reading like any other day. I feel that there's a really big shift coming onto the Divine Feminine, that she's just a lot more in her own energy, and there's something here that she needs to express in the world. So we're going to start with pile 1. If you resonate with my readings and you want to watch all of them, I totally think that's valid, and it may all be very synchronistic. I haven't looked at the cards. I can see one card, and obviously the bottoms of the deck are telling me some things. Hopefully I can get this whole reading. I have an appointment of someone coming to my house, but anyway, there's something that needs to be said. I feel like the Divine Feminine's been holding back. Two horses. Very interesting. And an Ace of Swords. Definitely Divine Feminine has been holding back. I love that the Queen of Cups came out in the reverse, and she's looking towards the Seven of Cups upright. I feel like you are wanting to move on from any kind of, and heal. There's a healing element here. There's a Four of Swords here. Any kind of sadness or rejection. I feel that there's very much a self-appreciation going on here, and you wanting to be free to like leave this in the past. And we have Queen of Swords there underneath. You're wanting to leave. There's kind of a bound energy to the past, and I feel very much like you want to free yourself from this energy. I see 3 5s here. There's a beautiful energy here about you don't have to say everything. You don't have to tell the sad story anymore. It's like you were this horse and you were tied and bound into this story, and you've decided now, through appreciating yourself, that you could unleash yourself. You could unbridle yourself. You could be free, just deciding not to tell the same story anymore, but to tell a new story, is this beautiful energy that's coming through. I feel that we've gone through a certain amount of awakening here, where maybe at one point you really compared yourself to other people, and now there's this understanding that you're really not like anybody else. Look at that. It's like root and crown, and somebody said that to me this morning, and it's speaking the truth about who you are. Who you are in your totality, in your, because I was looking at the chakra colors here in this infinity, and this is very much in alignment with this past life memory card. It's like you may have been holding back on experiencing life sensually, and I don't mean sexually, I mean sensually. Like, sometimes, you know, we have people in our lives or around us that are always like pointing out that things aren't the best, or, but it doesn't matter what's, you know, voted the best. It's like, I don't know why they're bringing me a pomegranate, but if you have a pomegranate and it's like perfectly ripe, and you just sit down and you enjoy this pomegranate, and it's like the color and the texture and the taste and the memories it evokes, whatever it is for you. And someone comes along and they're like, oh yeah, pomegranates are good, but I really love dragon fruit. It's so much better. And they tell you all the reasons that your pomegranate isn't as great as their dragon fruit, or whatever it is. You get what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, there's a lot of options in this world. It's almost, you know, unlimited. But there's a part of you right now here that's like, I love this thing. This is my thing. This is my pomegranate. And it brings me so much pleasure. I don't need to discuss with someone else why this makes me feel happy, why this makes me feel pleasure, why I am in love with this thing or this person or doing this job or this house. I don't need to convince anybody else that my life is my masterpiece in a way, or my sanctuary. I hope that makes sense. It's a beautiful energy of knowing that your life is your own to create, and nobody needs to validate your choices or include you as the best or better than or good enough. You know, you may have at one time been competing for someone's affection or attention, but now there's this really nice energy of just being in your power and creating through gratitude and appreciation. And I love the Seven of Cups here. It's like, you don't get to tell me how to live my life, but in a really positive way, in a way of like, I'm moving forward. And that the crescent moon on this horse's head, yes, it is the chariot, it is Cancer, it's the moon, but it very much reminds me of, you know, and you have like the sun illuminating the truth behind this horse, and this star on its neck being guided. And it's like knowing the truth of who you are and what you want, and not having to question it, not even having to explain it. And that is a really empowered, beautiful energy. And I feel that this energy you're going into, where, so they're kind of bringing to mind, it's like when you're struggling to feel, let me get the word, grand in your life, when you're struggling to create some sort of grandiosity, you don't appreciate like sweeping the floor. You don't appreciate doing the mundane tasks. And I feel like right now, all of that, the real appreciation of the freedom, because for me, in a lot of ways, this horse on the chariot is about freedom to move into the direction that you want to move in. And that means you have what you need to have, and you know where you want to go. And those are really priceless things, right? When we don't know what we want, we can't create it. When we don't have the resources, we're just looking at the lack of resources. But what feels really, it's like they're showing me a mosaic, all the tiles fitting perfectly together, is that you're drawing this beautiful picture that only you can draw in this world, that only you can create. And it isn't just one aspect of you, it's all the aspects of you forming a lovely picture. So that's pile one. I think it's a beautiful energy, and we're gonna move to pile two. I hope you enjoyed that. I would like to claim that energy for myself. Okay, so we have pile two here. This is the green opal with the Empress. This is the vice versa card deck, and then it has the Six of Cups and the Page of Cups underneath that green opal. And 1246. Okay. So bottom of the deck is Empress reversed. We have Eight of Wands, Ten of Cups, Magician reversed, I think that's Judgment reversed, and Two of Cups reversed. So what I see here is, again, you're going to be receiving information. Okay, there's a couple messages going on here. I do feel like if there's transitions you've been making or judgments you've been awaiting, could even be legal, but please don't take this as advice legally. You're finding that things are really lining up for you. There's a beautiful, this Ten of Cups energy. I mean, I feel a lot of synchronicity with the first pile, but it is different. You have options here, and it's something about you not waiting for your love interest to kind of validate you. but to see that there is hope and fulfillment through your own action, through your own motivation, through your own movement. I feel you want to connect with more friends, more like-minded individuals, maybe more family. You want to enjoy more things. And maybe some circumstances have been holding you back in the past year. Things you had to deal with that I think they weren't your choice. But it was a certain kind of karma that had to play out. And I feel like this beautiful card, you know, there's the caduceus here, which in its own way is kind of an 8, you know, an infinity sign. And then there's the 8 of wands. And here we have the flower growing behind the magician's cape, right? The people, if anyone tried to do you wrong or betray you or sabotage your manifestations, I really feel like they didn't understand what was going on behind the scenes. I don't think that they knew, you know, you may have been blooming in darkness. You may have been, he has the tree of life on the back of his robe. And so some of these things were things you just had to go through and learn from. Maybe for some of you there were betrayals. That's a feeling I'm getting simply from the judgment and the hostilities card, that, you know, they thought they were really getting one over on you. And they, sorry for the noise. But in the end, it will really be your victory. No matter what happens as the outcome, it will be your, it's like a celebration here that in a way is so interesting because they're showing me here and here. And look at these two. You know, very interesting. I have a very interesting synchronicity. They may have tried to sabotage your relationship or think that, I'm sorry, I put these back wrong. Think that they were like so removed, they would not get any like fallout is the word they're using. But what they are going to witness is you living your best life, like free from concern, honestly, is what I see here. Free from concern about them, or what they're doing, or I feel you making a full recovery from this pain or trauma or injury that they caused you. Or let's get one more card here. Where is this card here, Spirit? What do we need to know about this? Or say one. It's not giving me any answer, although it is the Magician again, basically. Look at all the glitters on the bottom. I feel like for some of you, someone took advantage of you financially or legally or in a way where they may have appeared to gain materially, but basically you're going to create something so fantastic from this, like the rubble, from this fallout. It will be, you know, and again, we have the starry sky, right? I feel like they won't see it coming. They won't. It's all being built very quietly, very much internally. And I feel like soon you will get a lot of news or a lot of signs that things will be okay. I am not going to, although this really is a card of celebration, the outcome here, I'm really not thinking that I don't want to say victory because it could be different for each of you, like the outcome, but internally I really feel like it's victory. Like whatever happens as the result of this situation, you're feeling very good about it. It's very positive. There's a lot of self-love that is generated in this whole thing because, you know, on the reverse side of this is the Ace of Cups is there. I feel like you're not letting anybody else have control over your happiness, you know, over this 10 of Cups. And then the back of this card is just so beautiful. You may have had to go through quite a bit of darkness and quite a bit of searching for hope and asking why certain things happened the way that they did. This could involve your twin, but I don't necessarily think that it does. He could have sabotaged or hurt you. But I think that there was a great lesson for you to learn here about the fact that you don't need anybody else to make it through your hard times. But now I really feel like you want people around you who are like ride or die or really on your side. And that's one of the things that this created is this independence, but also willingness to be more open with who you are. At the same time, fiercely protecting your self-love. It's like if you dealt with people pleasing or if you dealt with being needy to get love and only giving to get or anything like that, I feel like this is, you're moving forward in a way where this is healed and this is turning into a secure attachment. Yeah, that's the message coming through, and wow, that's a beautiful, beautiful message. I feel like you're going to have a lot to celebrate in this new year, and it's going to be very positive in a lot of ways. So I hope that helps you. We're going to move on to pile 3, 24, 29. This is Labradorite. With the Ace of Wands on the bottom of the deck. 2 of Wands, Strength. Okay. Wow. Knight of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, Eight of Swords, Hermit, Seven of Wands, ton of wand energy here. Ton of creativity, passion, fire, and then your thoughts holding you back a bit. I feel like you really want to, you know, the Knight brings the Ace. It's the offer. You feel inspired. You've made a decision. You want to it's like you want to create value in your life. But there is a bit of self-sabotaging here by you're getting stuck in your thoughts. Now, Spirit says wisdom is coming. Look at that third eye. Beautiful. Okay. So this did come out in pile 1. Look at that. Speaking your truth. Okay. So if you have been held back in the past by your thoughts, fear, self-sabotaging. I have been talking a lot about this on my channel. This is a very you are going to overcome this energy. It may even be that your mother or your female lineage held you back with rejection of who you are. And if that is the case, I see you overcoming that issue in a really beautiful, divine feminine way. You may have thought yourself, okay, so all of our childhood trauma is in our root chakra. It's ages 1 through 8. And I do see this big red rose here symbolizing the root chakra holding you back. The trauma that we accumulate is there in our rejection wound, abandonment wounds, injustice wounds. There's, I think, 7. Some, I don't know if it's definitive, but it's like you move forward with your dreams and then you get stopped. And when we get stopped through fears, so we look to the future for where we want to go and what we want to create and our movement, right? This is 2 movement cards. And you want to be creative and you want to be create something of value. And then there's a block here. The block is looking to the past. Our fears are in our mind, and our fears are what block us and keep us in self-sabotage, procrastination, comparison, any kind of fear energy. So I see this year you will be able to gain knowledge to overcome these fears, to overcome your patterns that you have from you're basically fighting for your own dreams, fighting for your own creations. And this process it's not only healing you, it's healing your entire lineage. It's healing your entire family. It's healing future generations. And it's, that is the alchemy here. This is very much a card of alchemy. And so are the Wands cards for me. It does seem like your third eye has been a bit blocked, and that will be overcome too. You'll be having an activation on a full moon. You're going to be able to see the patterns of your family that have held you back from like the fullness of expression of life, right? The cornucopia to me is very much an Empress card. It's very divine feminine. It's very much embracing freedom to create whatever you want in your life. And this is very much an Empress card too. It's maturity, flourishing, true beauty, understanding that your right to life, which is a very old concept in like the new New Thought movement. It's your right to be rich. It's your right to life. It's your right to experience the cornucopia, right? Nobody is born with a right more valid than someone else's right to experience the fullness of life and all you need to become everything that you want to be. And for some reason, that's how the Seven of Wands is showing up to me right now. You may feel a bit weak in terms of your family doesn't support you, your spouse doesn't support you, your people in your life don't necessarily support you growing into this bigger vision of yourself. But that's okay. Once you totally clear and understand the fears in your life and why they're there and how they stop you and how it's been kind of passed down from generation to generation, right? All of the beliefs that we have about money and privilege and rights, and that you can break out of that. It could be as a woman or as some sort of segment of the population that you identify with, or as an immigrant, or whatever label is put on that's like, you can't have that. I see you breaking free of that and getting the downloads that you need to overcome and move forward with your vision and your truth and your creation of your life. And this is a really specific message. I mean, they are really saying here, it is your third eye that will bring you the clarity that you're needing, and you will receive specific information about how you can overcome these challenges that have held you back. I mean, there's a lot of expansion here. It may be that your family judges you for being spiritual and doesn't accept these things, and that can hurt, you know? I grew up like that, and it was a different time, of course, because we didn't have the connection through the internet, but when you feel so rejected and you feel like your natural interests and your I've had a clairaudience my whole life, and I didn't even have anyone in my life to tell me what that was. I didn't have any resources to figure it out. I just knew for a very long time I thought I was just making up things, and I had parents telling me that I was crazy or silly or that wasn't real, and those things are very hard. I understand now that they were doing the best that they could to have me be normal and accepted in life, right? But it still created a very difficult rejection wound to get over. And I'm not saying that yours has to happen like mine. It's just an example that I do understand that when you finally get the knowledge to understand what's been going on, or you meet a mentor, or you meet other people like you that have had similar experiences, it really can help you understand that there's nothing wrong with you. There's a lot of things very right with you, and give you that courage and give you that strength, which I feel like you haven't been feeling that strong. Two, it doesn't mean you need to break away from your family necessarily, but part of you may have to, I always had this mentor who was like, you have these two hands. These people understand your spiritual journey and these people don't. And you don't have to tell all of these people everything all the time. If they're going to judge you, if they're going to hold you back, like I see that there has been some difficulty here in that, in some way, that you don't have to tell them about the changes going on with you. It really is up to you how you deal with that. But I see that there is an offer here to really experience a fullness of life once you choose to conquer that trauma that's there. I hope that helped you. We are going to do the last pile now. This is pile 4, the star. And has Devil and the 10 of Pentacles with the Wheel and the Lovers. So, wow. I do see, for me, right away, that does seem to indicate that you are overcoming. So we have Ace of Wands again, Hanged Man again, Judgment again, Hierophant, and Ace of Swords again. The only one in the upright is the Hierophant. So we have 4 major arcana here out of 6 cards and 2 aces. Definitely there could be a spiritual awakening here. Or you could have had a spiritual awakening that you are integrating now. I would say, I think pile 2, there's a lot of similarity to this pile. Root chakra. In fact, I think this kind of incorporates all of the piles. So for me here, this is, I feel like you have maybe tried to overcome a lot of, could be addictions, it could be ego, and I'm still not getting this message. I see that you have been out of balance. Something threw you quite out of balance in your life. And I feel like you've been waiting for things to be made right, to go in your favor. This could have had to do with your father. Look at Chariot. These are like all the cards of all these readings. Something is going to come in kind of at the last moment and give you hope and give you direction and give you clarity and give you movement. I feel like you've been waiting for a while and it's been hard to be patient. I would almost say that you felt a bit betrayed by spirit. That's a strong message. I feel like you questioned everything and didn't know what to do. It's kind of almost like everywhere you turned, maybe things were going right for other people, but not for you. Or you tried your hardest to make things work, and every time you tried, it went the opposite way. Again, I see that you are really understanding your own unique value in this world, and it's like you've learned an important lesson about giving away your power. So it's kind of a double-edged sword here in terms of not trusting. It's almost like you created your own situation because you knew it was coming, and almost any other thing you could have done would have produced a better outcome than it produced. And I feel for some of you, you went way down to the bottom. A lot of this, what you're dealing with, not regarding your twin, but other things, was a karmic lesson. And whatever you needed to, they're saying like the ghosts of the past. There's a stability of some sort. You know, it is interesting that you have the Four of Pentacles and she's kind of standing on Four of Pentacles here. And the number 4 may represent something here. Even the April 10th may be significant somehow. I almost never do dates, but, or October 4th, but there's Spirit wants you to know there were things here out of your control. And you may be blaming yourself from some of the things that happened. Like, I'm so stupid. Why did I do that? Why didn't I do this? And there's really saying to me, it didn't matter what you did. You had to go through what appears to be a loss for a reason that is coming into your view. Part of that reason is that you have to know beyond the ghost, beyond the shadow of the doubt, that it is within your hand and your hand alone that you can handle all of these things. You can make all of the decisions and choices that you need to make. Part of the problem was that you listened to other people and went against your own intuition. And you know that now. In fact, you can look back and you can see that had you actually followed your very first impulse, this all would be different. Doesn't matter though. Doesn't matter. They're saying it doesn't matter. The lesson was to learn that. And the lesson is to learn that no matter what you would have. They're saying you never would have done that because there was this lesson here that you had to learn. And you're going to laugh when this all gets done, even though you may have cried a lot and you may have felt very alone, very, very down. And I'm very sorry if any of this has happened this past year, but I do see there's a masculine person, I don't think it's your twin, who will be assisting you moving forward. It's up to you to forgive and forget, or to forgive or to not forgive. It's up to you to collect, basically, they're like saying coins of wisdom, but the self-worth that comes out of going through something like this alone, overcoming, if it's overcoming an addiction or problem like that, you know, I don't suffer from addictions, but I have dealt with people in my life who have, and I know the helplessness that it feels when you want to, you know, when codependency, when you want someone to heal and they don't want to heal. You may be healing from that, and that's a beautiful thing, to let everyone live their life and make their own choices, right? That's an advanced path, because you can't do the work for anybody else. I don't care what you say. I know that as a fact. You can offer your own insight and they can choose, but there's no, you can't do it if they don't want to do it. And Spirit really wants you to know, you know, there's two kind of light at the end of the tunnel here. You and your twin may be going through similar journeys on the learning this lesson of like reaching the bottom, and it may look very, very different, but you're both going to come to this conclusion, and it's going to be an equal balance. This is a master teacher number. This lesson will serve you so greatly in your union. And I do see a card of union here and a card of movement forward. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be this year, but I do see that you will, at some point, you know, this is a 5 and 6 here, and a 7. So you have 4, 5, 6, 7. And there's a very much, you'll also have 10, 10. So this cycle is closing out. And it can be helped by you recognizing, I feel like crying. You have some emotional release to process. It's very important that you process this release. It has to do with a feminine person who may have betrayed you, hurt you, judged you, hurt you very, very deeply. And this has to be released. Very important that you do the work to understand this was not about you. This was about them. And they will be facing very harsh judgment for what they've done. That you don't never need to take any kind of action for that to happen. That's on them. You don't want to create your karma. You don't want to create something negative in your life in reaction to someone else creating something negative. Is it a past life thing? It could be. You could have done something in a past life. Does it matter now? No, not really. You need to atone in your own life for whatever you feel. So they're saying, don't play the victim. Stop doing that. This is my tough love portion of this. You're not a victim. I know that's harsh when you feel like you've been taken advantage of. Trust me, this is definitely my pile. But you need to understand this is not about your worth. This is not about your value. This does not reflect who you are or the importance of you in any kind of family or institution, if it was with your work or any kind of friendship or love relationship. This is for you to learn your worth, not for you to put it on yourself as, being unworthy. The lessons here are the healing of the heart, releasing any kind of the trauma, and the lesson around self-worth and rejection or injustice. And you may have really felt like you were a very wise person of a lot of value before this happened. You may have seen yourself as, how could this person who appeared one way have done this to you? And this was part of your ego's lesson. Overcoming this, it's like they want you to know that a family isn't constructed by how it looks. It's how it feels. This is the very important lesson that you're learning, is that you could have thought a family, and use that term however it applies, was supposed to be a certain way. It was supposed to follow certain constructs, certain unwritten rules. And if you found that things did not go according to that plan, you're rewriting that construct. Things don't function well based on how they look. They function well based on how they feel. And they really want you not to use your eyes, but to use your heart, and to clear your heart of the pain that has been caused by constructing things on the way they looked. Right? So often we choose partners or people based on the way that they appear in the 3D. And that can bring a lot of pain. They're saying no more of this, no more. The template is now based on the truth of who you are, not how you look, or, I heard a statistic yesterday that was like 60% of marriages in America end in divorce. And it's like, that construct is not working. To be a unit or a family or something where you have all of the physical belongings, but you're miserable inside, that doesn't work anymore. It's not going to work anymore. The more unique and special and magnetic the way you are comes together, the better it will be. And that may cause judgment from people, right? This is the twin flame template, is that people may judge you because it doesn't look traditional. But they're saying it really doesn't matter. The mastery of this lesson will be union, and not government union. It will be true union. So it does appear to me like you're learning a lesson close to the last lesson, or the last lesson before union. this won't come from outside. This comes from inside. You will have to, you know, excavate. They're showing me the pyramid. Excavate the depths of your tombs, the depths of where you have buried things, the depths of your trauma, and bring it to the light. But have a lot of hope here. There's a lot of hope. And I feel like the least likely person to assist you will be assisting you. I don't get that this is a bad tower. I get that this is a surprising tower. As you move on your path, you'll be very hopeful that this all meant something very important to you. And it will be surprising who will come to your aid, who will assist you in a way that you might not have, you know, understood before. But the red string of fate is here. Follow your heart. And yeah, I hope that helps you. It was a really deep message to bring out. So thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you would love, I'd love it if you put an emoji in down below, or a 1111, or some kind of what number you chose, because it helps me so much, and I've had a hard time growing. But congratulations on your moving forward. Bye for now.